there. I hope I got the right number. Is this Stan's older sister? I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Kendra. I'm Stan's fiancée. Oh, hi there, Kendra. I'm glad I finally got the chance to talk to you. Yeah, you've got the right number. My name's Stacy. If I recall correctly, you just dropped by my parents' house with your parents to introduce them, didn't you? I'm really sorry I missed that. I wanted to come and meet you and your family, but my company dropped a last-minute trip out of the state on me that I couldn't get out of. Oh yeah, your parents told me all about that. It was really great news. I get it. You're one of those people who like sarcastic jokes, huh? Sorry, that one went over my head. I wasn't joking. Is that a continuation of the joke, or... No, I'm not joking. I'm really glad you weren't there. It's for the best that we don't meet. So you don't need to feel bad about anything. Okay, this is probably the weirdest first conversation I have ever had with a person in my life. Would you mind explaining why you don't want to meet me? Oh, of course. I'm glad you asked. So I have some super deep-seated trauma with men, right? When I was in high school, I went on my first date ever with a boy, and the very next day, he was sitting with my best friend at lunch. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been traumatic for you. So he was never serious about you after all? No, he actually was serious. I found out later that he and my best friend were actually cousins, but I only found that out after I had already dumped him and sent him messages around the school saying he was a boring date and a bad kisser. That event was so traumatic for me that I can't bear to see my romantic partners being friendly with any other women, even family members. You spread false rumors about him over a misunderstanding, but you are the one with deep-seated trauma? Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm glad you understand. Right. Well, you know that me and Stan are brother and sister, right? Are you telling me that you don't even want me to have pleasant conversations with him? Stacy, I am so glad that you understand my trauma so well. I heard from your parents that you and Stan are really close. Is that right? Yeah. I presume that's a problem for you? Yep. A big problem. I can't bear to see Stan being friendlier with other women in his family than he is with me. Uh-huh. Again, Stacy, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you understanding my trauma. So I actually had a request to make of you. I would really appreciate it if you could never see Stan again. And not just in person. You can't text him either. I wasn't too thrilled with compromising this much with him, but I decided to be the bigger person and allow him 10 texts per month with your mom. So if there's ever something you want to tell Stan, you can tell it to your mom and have her contact Stan for you. Oh, and if her 10 texts are already used up, you'll have to go through me. Granted, depending on the content, I may or may not deliver the message to him. You understand, right? Let me see if I have this straight. You want me to never contact my own brother directly ever again? Yep, that's right. If I found out you were contacting him, that would really trigger my deep-seated trauma. Right. Look, Kendra, as much as I want to start off our relationship on the right foot, I'm afraid that is not a request that I'll be able to abide by. I understand you have this trauma thing, and I'll do my best to be considerate of you, but restricting which of Stan's family members he can contact? I'm sorry, but that's utterly ridiculous. Stacy, how could you say that to me? I thought you understood my trauma. Are you really going to ignore the deep-seated trauma I have and contact your brother against my wishes? Do you want me to have a panic attack? What if my panic attack causes a heart attack? Are you trying to kill me? What the, kill you? I also have to say that I am very disappointed in the weakness of your sibling relationship with Stan. What? Me wanting the ability to talk to my own brother is a weakness to you? Obviously, if you truly had a strong familial bond, then you wouldn't need to have direct contact with him. Just knowing that he was well taken care of by a fantastic woman who loves him more than anyone else should be enough. But you're disregarding my trauma and threatening my life by meeting with your brother, all because of your own insecurities. You trashed a high school boy's reputation over your misconception, but I'm the one who's insecure? All I'm doing is laying down boundaries. You don't get to determine how and when I contact my own brother just because you're marrying him. Don't victim shame me. I'm the one setting boundaries to cope with my deep-seated trauma. Stop using that term. You use it every 5 frickin' seconds. I will not give you another warning, Stacy. I am his fiancée and I have deep-seated trauma. You will never meet in person with your brother ever again. And if you want to send him a message, then you must either go through me or your mother. That is final. Stan, we need to talk.
We do?
Yes, and it's about your fiancée. Are you sure you want to marry her? Like, really sure?
Well, I did propose to her. I thought that would make my intentions clear. Can I ask what brings this on? Did something happen between you two? You were really happy for me when I first told you I was getting married.
Yeah, I was, but that was before I actually interacted with her. Kendra just texted me a few minutes ago.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and what she said was shocking, to say the least.
Well, what did she say?
She told me to never speak to you again. She told me this insane story about her deep-seated trauma, but it didn't make any sense. I mean, she expects me to believe that she was traumatized over an incident from high school in which she ruined a boy's reputation for no reason.
Oh, yeah, she told me about that a while back too.
So you knew? Stan, I understand that this is the woman that you proposed to, but I feel like I need to say this is your sister. She seems like she is genuinely unwell.
I'm really sorry that she said that to you. Also, thank you for your concern. It means a lot that you would trust me enough to be so direct like that. Now, in Kendra's defense, based on my experience with her, I don't think she's unwell. I think she just worries too much sometimes.
You sound like you're not too surprised that she would tell me never to speak to you again.
Well, I guess you can say she's done something like this before. Not to blow my own horn, but I've always had a lot of friends, right?
Yeah, ever since you were a kid, you always had a huge circle of friends. You've been bringing them around the house for years now, but I still don't even remember most of their names. Even after you went to college, any free time you weren't studying, you were spending with friends.
Right, that's something that doesn't really sit too well with Kendra.
She doesn't like that you have friends?
It's not that. It's just that she's kind of the opposite type of person. She'd rather just have a few super close people that she knows really well than have a bunch of friends like me. So she can't comprehend my relationship with my friends. You know what I mean? I can't remember how many times she's gotten mad at me for spending a Saturday with my friends instead of her.
Wow, that must have been difficult for you.
Actually, that's the main reason I decided to marry her. Once she's my wife, I'm positive that she'll settle down a bit with the jealousy. I mean, what better way there is to prove my devotion to her than to vow to be there for her for the rest of my life? She won't have a reason to be jealous of my friends or family anymore.
I guess you've put quite a bit of thought into this, Stan. Okay, if that's how strongly you feel about her, then I'll respect your decision. You're right, she'll probably loosen up a little bit after your wedding.
Thanks for understanding, Stacy. So yeah, in the meantime, I wouldn't take anything she says about cutting off contact with me too seriously. I'll have her apologize to you at an appropriate time in the future. Though she shouldn't have said that to you.
Alright, that's fine. You can take your time. I'm in no rush for an apology. You take good care of Kendra then, got it? And try to hold off on making any new friends for a while.
Aw, do I have to? Alright, guess the next time I'll see you will probably be at our wedding, huh? I can't wait for you to meet Kendra in person.
Kendra, what is wrong with you? You came up from behind me and punched me in the back of the head. Oh, you're awake. I'm glad to hear that. How are you feeling? Think I'm feeling? My head frickin' hurts. You punched me so hard that I passed out. They had to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital. Oh my goodness, they took you to the hospital? Yeah, you knocked me unconscious. They want to do a CT scan to make sure I don't have any internal bleeding. But you can cut it with the pleasantries, Kendra. You put me in the hospital. Now explain yourself. I hadn't even been at the wedding for a half hour when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in the back of my head, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor looking at the ceiling. Why did you do that to me? Don't you remember the last time we spoke? It was my deep-seated trauma. Oh, great, not this again. I walked into the room and saw a woman I'd never met talking to Stan, and all the memories of my pain and misery in high school came rushing back. I was sure that you were actually Stan's mistress and had come to break up the wedding. All the shame and rage and sorrow welled up inside me, and I started seeing red. My body started moving on autopilot. I grabbed the nearest heavy object and bashed you over the head with it. You don't seem like you regret anything at all. You haven't even said you're sorry. But I didn't do anything wrong. It was all a big misunderstanding. I would have never hit you if I knew you were Stan's sister. It was all my trauma's fault. You don't think you did anything wrong? You hit me so hard I lost consciousness. You're not going to evade responsibility for that just because of your supposed trauma. And what the hell? You saw a woman talking to Stan, and the first thing that came to your mind was Stan's having an affair with her? First of all, it is not supposed trauma. It is real trauma. I will not allow you to deny my lived experiences. Second, you knew about my deep-seated trauma, and still you violated the boundaries that I set for you. How could you be so insensitive? I believe that I deserve an apology for your flagrant disregard for my emotional well-being and safety. This is completely insane. Insane? That's ableist language. Screw you. You could have actually killed me just now. What was it that you hit me with anyway? A rock or something? No, just an empty vase. Oh, excuse me, it was just an empty vase. You expect me to apologize for violating your psychotic boundaries, but you don't think you need to apologize for a literal assault? Not a chance. I am the one who deserves an apology here, not you. What? How dare you? I went through the emotional labor of confiding in you about my lived experiences and deep-seated trauma, and you're still victim-shaming me? Are you intentionally fitting as many psychobabble nonsense words into your sentences as grammatically possible? You knew it was traumatic for me to see Stan talking to other women. I clearly laid down my boundaries for you, and you violated them on what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Therefore, it is only right that you apologize to me and promise that you will never violate my boundaries again. I swear, it's like your only source of vocabulary is the chapter on trauma of a psychology textbook written by a teacher's aide. How can you possibly be playing the victim right now? Because I am the victim. Wow. You know, Kendra, when you first texted me, I thought you were a complete psycho. But now, I don't think I went far enough. You are far worse than just a run-of-the-mill psycho. You need to be locked up in an institution. That is more than enough ableist language out of you, Stacy. There is no room in my life or Stan's life for such a bigoted person as you are. I am marrying your brother today, and you will never see him again.
I wouldn't be so sure that if I were you.
Huh?
Kendra, do you honestly believe that you haven't done anything wrong? I've taken the liberty of reading the conversation that you and Stacy just had. And to be quite honest, that really is how you feel. Then I'm not sure I can do this anymore. I'm sorry, Kendra, but this wedding is canceled.
What? Wait a minute. Stacy? Or... oh no. Stan, is that you?
Looks like you finally caught on. Didn't you notice that he disappeared from the wedding chapel the moment that Stacy got taken away in the ambulance? That's because I went to the hospital with her. The wedding is canceled and our relationship is over. I'm breaking up with you. So no, you will not be marrying me today, or any other day.
Stan, no, you can't do this to me. You said you were gonna marry me. You said you didn't want me to have to worry about losing you anymore. You said that I was the most important person in the world to you. So how could you cancel our wedding and break up with me? Was that all just a lie?
No, Kendra, I meant every single word I ever said to you. I proposed to you because I loved you. I accepted your past, your jealousy, your controlling nature, all of that. Because I thought I could help you heal the damage that your past has done to you. I thought if I could show you that you didn't need to worry about losing me, that you could overcome your trauma and start looking towards the future rather than the past. I believed that right up until this very morning. Not only have my dedicated displays of love to you not helped heal your trauma, it almost feels like you've gotten worse. Kendra, you assaulted my sister. You hit her in the back of the head with a vase.
But I thought she was your mistress. What did you expect me to do?
That's it right there. That's exactly my point. You trust me so little that you immediately assumed that I was cheating on you. I can't marry anyone who doesn't trust me.
Stan!
I've done everything you ever asked me to do, Kendra. I erased all my female friends from college from my phone for you. I never went to any party or gathering where other women were present. I loved you and wanted to spend my life with you, so I was willing to make sacrifices for you. And after all of that, you go and assault my sister?
But Stan, it was all a simple misunderstanding. I didn't mean to hit your sister.
So you admit that you generally thought I was cheating on you?
Yeah, but just for a second.
Even 1 second is too long, don't you get that? You have no idea how much it hurts to know that the woman I pledged my love to doesn't even trust me.
That's not true. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that, oh, you're such an amazing guy. You're handsome, funny, hardworking. I always felt that you were out of my league. I was terrified of losing you.
And so you bash my sister over the head with a vase? I don't know how I can make this any clearer to you, Kendra. You've gone too far. Your trauma has completely taken over you. So much so that you were willing to assault a person you didn't know within a few seconds of seeing them for the first time. I had no idea you were such a violent person.
I'm not a violent person. That's not fair. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Don't talk about me like I'm always going around and hitting random people wherever I go.
First time? Huh, that's a lie. You're not just controlling and violent. You're a liar too.
What are you talking about? I'm not lying.
When I got to the hospital with Stacy, I just so happened to see a friend of mine who I invited to the wedding. He told me he was walking downtown this morning when all of a sudden, someone came up from behind him and pushed him down the stairs. That was you, wasn't it?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Why would I do a thing like that?
He also told me that he had been receiving a ton of texts from you lately. Multiple times a day, telling him to stay away from me. But right after he got taken to the hospital, the text stopped. He was so terrified that he hadn't even spoken to the police about it yet. He thought for sure you would either go after him again or take it out on me.
I can explain.
Don't bother. I don't want to hear it. Just like with Stacy, you're lucky that he wasn't seriously hurt, and that it doesn't appear that there'll be any lasting impacts to his health. Are you going to stand there and say you did all that for me? Even if that's true, I don't want any part of your psychosis. I mean it, Kendra, we're through.
Stan, please, can't we talk about this?
The only thing we're going to talk about from here on out is how you're going to be held responsible for what you did to Stacy and my friend.
What do you mean? What are you going to do to me?
I'm going to make you pay. Simple as that. You've only ever been on my good side up until now, so you may not realize this. But while I pride myself in being generous and forgiving to my family and friends, I show absolutely no mercy to anyone else who crosses me.
Stan, do not do this. I'll apologize for everything, okay? I'll go to Stacy and your friend's hospital rooms and I'll tell them I'm sorry. So please don't break up with me. I'm sorry I let my trauma get the best of me. If you could just work with me a little longer, I'm sure I'll overcome it in no time.
Again with the trauma nonsense. Are you ever going to give that up? Anyway, I've already compromised more than I should here for your sake. I'm not doing it anymore. You can sort out your trauma issues on your own now.
Stacy, what am I gonna do? Stan says he's gonna break up with me. He hasn't been back to our apartment since yesterday, and he just sent his lawyer over with a demand that I move out within 24 hours. I don't want to break up with him. I don't want to move out. Please, Stacy, you have to help me. In case you've forgotten, I am currently in a hospital bed recovering from the injuries that I sustained when you assaulted me. I had to get 3 stitches in the back of my head, which may not seem like a lot, but they are really, really uncomfortable. That's in addition to the splitting headache I still have. So if you want help moving out, you're gonna have to ask someone else. That's not what I meant. I want you to talk to Stan and tell him not to break up with me. I love Stan. I need him. Well, he doesn't love or need you, so I don't know what you want me to do about it. You put 2 people in the hospital on the day of your wedding. Do you really think Stan would stay with you after that? And that's not even considering the fact that you've been cheating on him. What? He told you about that? He sure did. After you assaulted us yesterday, he went to find all the evidence he could of your harassment campaigns towards me and his friends. He found all the evidence he needed of that, but also a few other pieces of evidence. Seems like every time I think my opinion of you couldn't possibly get any lower, you go and prove me wrong. Stop victim shaming me! It's not my fault I had to cheat on him. Oh, for the love of God, Kendra, don't tell me this is because of your trauma, too. He never respected any of my boundaries. I told him not to see his friends anymore, and he told me that he was fine with that, but then what did I find out? He was still seeing them in secret at least once a month. He crushed my heart and ripped open the wounds left by that boy in high school. I lost control. I felt so violated and abused, I had no choice but to cause him some of the same trauma that he caused me. So every time he went out with me and his friends, I went out with another man. He did this to me. It's all his fault. That boy didn't cause you any trauma, Kendra. What you're actually feeling is shame. Stop victim shaming me. He was the victim, you idiot, not you. All he did was talk to his cousin, and you ruined his reputation because of it. Then, when you realized the truth, you were overcome with shame over the viciously evil thing you did to him. That's why you invented your trauma narrative. To shut out your feelings of shame over realizing that you're just an impulsive, jealous, vindictive, and stupid woman. No, you're wrong. It was his fault for not telling me that my best friend was his cousin, just like it's Stan's fault for not telling me you were his sister. It was Stan's friend's fault for not respecting the boundaries I set for him. That's another thing. You don't just get to use the word boundaries to make other people do whatever you want. Look, I understand that maybe I went a teensy bit overboard, but it's all because I love Stan so much. I don't want to lose him. So please, I am begging you, give me another chance. We can call your family and Stan's friends together and have a discussion on what new boundaries we can set for you guys. Boundaries that we all agree on. You still don't feel like you've done anything wrong, do you? I realize that some people who are less understanding of the trauma I've been through may view my actions as inappropriate. Yes. Yeah, that settles it. You don't think you've done anything wrong. You go through all these mental gymnastics to interpret what happens in a way that removes any responsibility from yourself. Well, I'd say it's high time someone forced you to take some responsibility. And it looks like that responsibility falls to me. You may not think that you've done anything wrong, but I'd bet a year's worth of my salary that a judge and jury will have a different view of things. What are you saying? Are you gonna sue me? Did Stan ever tell you what it was I do for a living? No. I'm a lawyer. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Do you have any idea how much money I'm losing every day I'm stuck here in this godforsaken hospital? You're going to compensate me for my lost wages and much more. I've also decided to take up Stan's friend's case against you as well, pro bono. Please don't do that, Stacy. I'm already on the hook for a ton of money from the canceled wedding. If you sue me on top of that, I'll be ruined. Yeah? And how is that my problem? You don't seem to be aware of what sort of position you're in right now. You have successfully driven away the only person in this entire world who would have had pity on you, so don't expect any from me. We'll talk more once I'm out of the hospital. I suggest you start figuring out how to come up with a lot of money very soon. The first thing I did after getting out of the hospital was putting together a police report for both myself and Stan's friend. She was granted a speedy trial and found guilty on all counts. My next order of business was suing her for the costs of the wedding, hospital bills, and lost wages, which added up to around $50,000 in total. She went to her parents and begged them for help, so they agreed to loan her what she needed. Paying that back, however, is not going to be easy for a woman with a criminal record like her. I hope she takes this opportunity to learn that her trauma card isn't going to get her very far in this world. Hey there, Kayla. Look, I wanted to say that I am sorry about what happened earlier today, but you have to look at things from my perspective. I had no idea that you were that old. I was so shocked when I found out that you were Carter's mom that, well, I guess I kinda said something that maybe I shouldn't have. If you think you were shocked, I'd like you to take a moment and consider how I felt. My son Carter brought you, his fiancée, over to my house so he could finally introduce the two of us. And when you walk in the door, what was the very first thing you said when you laid eyes on me? Well, do you remember, Miley? You shouted, quote, "Who the hell is that old woman in your living room, Carter?" I have never, in all my years, had someone speak in such a disrespectful manner to me. Not to mention, I have never allowed Carter to use profanity in my house, so your choice of verbiage was quite shocking as well. Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have let that slip out. Ordinarily, my mental filter keeps my more honest thoughts locked up in my head. And, I mean, in my defense, when I first saw you, I thought that you looked like you were around the same age as my grandma. Is that right? I suppose I can't blame you too much for that. After all, I was 40 years old when I gave birth to Carter. It's not all that uncommon for women my age to have grandchildren already. Whoa, hold on. Am I reading this correctly? You were 40 years old when Carter was born? Are you serious? I'm not sure why you think I would joke around about the topic, but yes, I am serious. Boy, you know what? Now that you mention it, that does explain a lot. I always thought that Carter was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me? I'm afraid I don't know what you're saying. Perhaps you'd be generous enough to clarify your meaning for me? Do I really need to spell it out for you? I thought it was common knowledge. The older a woman is, the greater the risk becomes that her kids are going to end up being defective in one way or another, right? I've thought for a long time now that there's something, I don't know, call it mysterious, I guess, about Carter. Like I said, he always seemed different. Now that I know how old you were when he was born, everything makes sense. He's got some kind of a disability due to being born to such an old woman. Miley, how could you talk about Carter that way? That man is your fiancé. He asked you to be his wife. He wants to spend the rest of his life with you. And you're going to accuse him of having a disability? Don't get me wrong, it's not really a bad thing. Carter is a really great guy. He's super nice to me. And not just me, he's super nice to everyone around him. But that's the thing that seems so weird about him. It's like, being a guy is one thing, but Carter is way beyond the level of just being a nice guy. He's too nice. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him get mad at anyone or about anything. I was worried, like, does he have some kind of emotional problems? Does he have cancer or something in the part of the brain where anger comes from? But now I know that you were crazy old when he was born. I can be pretty sure that it's not cancer. He just has a really old mom. Having an old mom means he's bound to have some sort of defect. And if not being angry is his defect, I guess there's worse problems he could have. I do not believe the way that you're speaking about Carter right now, Miley. Have you no shame? Do you not realize just how hideously cruel the things you're saying are? No, not really. I mean, what's the issue? I'm just calling it like I see it. The issue is that you're talking about my son as though he's a defective piece of merchandise. He is not an object for you to evaluate. He is a human being. He is the man who asked you to be his wife as well as my son. You think his kind and sweet nature is a defect? That's not a defect, that's simply him being a good person. Not only that, but you're blaming his supposed defect on my age at the time he was born? Today has been nothing but a string of horrible insults from you towards both my son and myself. Good grief, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. What are you getting so angry at me for? I just identified the fact that he has a defect. I'm not saying I'm going to return him to the manufacturer. I still love him just as much. I accept Carter for who he is, and that includes all his defects. Aren't I something else? I doubt there are very many other women out there who would be as willing as me to take a defective man as my husband. You should be grateful that I agreed to marry him. That does it. I always told myself that I would do my best to accept the woman that my son chose as his wife, whether I agreed with his choice or not. It's his life, not mine. He has a right to have his choices respected. However, your heartless words and careless attitude today are simply too much for me to bear. Seriously, what's your problem, Kayla? Didn't you see that I'm still gonna marry him despite him being the defective product of an old woman? Oh, I think I know what this is. Your one and only son is getting married and you're jealous that he's gonna give another woman more attention than you. Jealousy? Is that what you think this is? Okay, so I'm gonna go now and let you deal with your jealousy issues by yourself. Thanks for lunch today. It was mediocre. The next time you have me over, I'd appreciate it if you could put a little more effort into the food, okay? And if that's too much for you, I wouldn't object to you ordering delivery. Bye-bye, mommy dearest.
Good evening, Carter. Do you have a moment? There's something important that I'd like to talk to you about.
Hey, Mom. What's up? Oh, is this about the wedding venue information packets I sent to you? Sorry, it must have been a pretty big package. Did you get a chance to look through them? Which one did you like?
I'm sorry, Carter, but this isn't about the wedding venue. It's a much more important issue than that. I'd like to talk about your marriage.
My marriage? I'm not really sure what you mean. But from the way you're talking, it sounds like it's a pretty heavy issue.
As your mother, I feel that you deserve to have my full support for your marriage, and that's why I've been holding back on saying some things to you. But I've given it some thought lately, and I just can't hide these feelings anymore. In the same way you deserve my support, you also deserve my honesty. I feel it would be for the best for you to reconsider getting married to Miley.
What? Holy cow, Mom! That is a massive bomb to drop on me right now. Okay, well, can you tell me why you're asking me to break up with my fiancé?
Do you remember the time, roughly a month ago, when you brought Miley to the house to introduce her to me? You know, when she was startled and called me an old woman?
Ah, yeah, I do remember that. I'm really sorry that Miley said something so insensitive to you, Mom. But it's partially my fault. I never told her that you were in your 40s when you had me. That was my bad for not preparing her. I had to talk with her about your attitude later on that day. I was firm in telling her never to speak to you like that again.
You did? Well, I appreciate that, but I'm afraid it didn't work. She's continued to treat me exactly the same way ever since. Not only that, she's being outrageously disrespectful regarding my age when you were born.
Really? How so?
The same day you brought her by the house, she and I had a lengthy text conversation. She treated me like I was some sort of a fool for having a child at 40. And not only that, you were the subject of her insults, too. She told me that she thought you were, in her words, defective due to being born to such an old woman.
No way.
She said that she had always found your kind nature to be weird. Apparently she feels that your lack of anger is a defect. Ever since that day, I've been holding back on telling you about it. I thought that it wasn't my place to say something to make you question your decision to marry her, but I just couldn't hold it back anymore. It was one thing for her to belittle me, but another thing entirely for her to speak about you like she did.
Wow. I had no idea. Thank you for being honest with me, Mom. I know it must have been difficult for you to breach that topic with me. Now that you mention it, I thought that she's been acting different around me than she did before. Now that I know what the two of you have been talking about, I think I understand what's going on.
Oh, would you mind telling me more?
You said she was using the word defect, right? That actually made me remember a bizarre conversation we had a few weeks ago. One day, she suddenly came up to me and threw a massive stack of papers on my lap. I asked her what it was, and she said she went to the OBGYN and got tested, and everything came up clean. I thought that was reassuring, but she had this weird, almost defiant look on her face. The next thing she said was, "This means that if we have a defective kid, it's your fault."
Goodness gracious. I'd like to say I'm shocked, but after the conversations we've had, I'm afraid nothing is shocking anymore. I could understand if she simply took those tests to reassure you before your marriage, but how could she even think about saying such a thing to you? I told her this same thing when we were talking a month ago, but she's treating you like you're defective merchandise. Not only that, the only reason she's acting this way is because I was 40 when I gave birth to you.
Yeah, I wasn't very thrilled when she said that to me. Even less now that I know why. To be honest, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Won't you reconsider, Carter? Do you really want to marry a girl like her? It would be wise for you to take some time to think about this.
Sorry, Mom. But I've already thought about this enough. My decision stands. I love Miley and I want to marry her.
Carter.
Like I said, I should have told her about the circumstances of my birth. It's only natural for her to react this way after finding out so late in the game. That's on me and me alone. I'm sorry that my irresponsibility resulted in your feelings getting hurt, Mom.
You don't have anything to apologize for, Carter.
We've already met each other's families. The wedding has already been planned and we've sent out an invitation. It's too late for me to turn back now. Now, that's not to say I'm excusing the way Miley has been acting towards us. It looks like the talk we had earlier wasn't enough. I'm gonna sit down with her again one of these days and have another conversation. I'll see to it that she stops, so please, won't you accept our relationship?
It seems that you truly do care about her. All right, Carter, if that's your decision, then I'll respect it. I'm sorry for bringing the topic up to you. It wasn't my place to question your choice of a wife. I'll be praying that the two of you can go on to become as happy of a couple as you deserve.
Thank you, Mom. I don't feel bad. I'm glad that you care enough about me, to be honest. I'm sure that we'll have all this cleared up by the wedding. There'll be nothing in the way of celebrating the beginning of our new life together.
I certainly hope so. I'm very excited for your wedding, Carter. I'll let you go now. See you soon, dear.
Kayla? Where in the world are you right now? Aren't you coming?
Coming to what, may I ask?
You actually forgot? No way. Today's our wedding, Kayla.
Wait, your wedding was today?
Oh my God, you really did forget. I should have known you would forget. You're clearly going through the early stages of dementia. There's no other way you would possibly forget something as important as your own son's wedding.
I do not have dementia, you impudent girl.
That's exactly what someone with dementia would say. Oh boy, this is gonna mean a lot of trouble for us now. Am I really gonna have to deal with your dementia from the very day of our wedding? I thought we had a few months left before you started going senile.
Enough of this nonsense. What's this about your wedding being today? That's impossible, though. I'm holding the invitation you sent me in my hand right now. The date on this card is for next week, not today.
Yeah, and so what? That doesn't change anything. Our real wedding date is today, and you, the mother of the groom, are not in attendance, just as I planned.
I don't believe this. You did this on purpose? You wanted me to miss the wedding, so you sent me this fake wedding invitation? Oh, how could you do this to me? Just wait until I tell the family about this.
Don't waste your time. Nothing you tell them is gonna do you any good once I'm through with them. After all, you're freaking ancient. All I have to do is go around to all my relatives and yours and tell them that I called you, but you didn't take your dementia pills yesterday. Then when you woke up this morning, your brain was in such a fog that you completely forgot about the wedding. So you can try and tell them that your mean old daughter-in-law tricked you with a fake invitation, but no one is gonna believe you.
They'll never believe you.
Yeah, they will. And so will your precious little son. If his mother is in such an advanced stage of dementia that she forgot about our wedding, it'll be a piece of cake to get him to throw you in a nursing home ASAP. Well, Kayla, what do you think? Was this not the most perfect plan you've ever seen?
Miley, I don't understand. Why would you do this to me? What's in it for you? I have no clue what benefit you would possibly gain from causing me to miss your wedding.
Isn't it obvious? I just want to be able to enjoy my newlywed life without any unwanted interruptions.
Interruptions?
You know, sudden visits from my in-laws, unwanted dinner invitations, boring family celebrations. I hate that sort of thing. I knew I'd have to get rid of you right away, or else I'd be doomed to a life of living under the thumb of my obnoxious mother-in-law. So I made you that fake invitation. Now all that's left is for me to convince the family that you're senile and no one will put up any resistance at all to institutionalizing you. And once I've locked you away in some old folks' home halfway across the state, we'll be able to have that beautiful house of yours all to ourselves.
All this time, I thought your maliciousness was limited to simple insensitivity. But now I find out that you've been planning to have me locked up so you could take my house? I underestimated you, Miley. You are pure evil.
You can think whatever you want of me, Kayla. Actually, it would be great if you could go around complaining about your evil daughter-in-law's conspiracy against you. That will convince them that you're senile for sure. Oh dear, would you look at the time? The wedding is going to start in a half hour, but you live a 3-hour drive away from the venue. I guess you'll never be able to make it in time now, huh?
No, that's why you selected that venue? It was all a part of your plan? I thought it was odd that you picked one so far away when there are nicer ones closer to the city.
I couldn't afford to leave anything to chance. Well then, if you'll excuse me, I need to go to the other guests and explain why the family matriarch will not be joining us this fine day.
While you're at it, tell them that Carter won't be coming either.
What? What do you mean?
I mean that my son Carter is here at my house with me right now. So do me a favor and tell them that neither the family matriarch nor the groom will be in attendance today.
But why?
Because the wedding is canceled. Your engagement to my son is canceled as well.
You're lying. There's no way Carter's there with you. You're the only one I sent a fake invitation to. Carter knows that the wedding is today.
You are absolutely right, Miley. Carter does know that the wedding is today. I know that because he's the one who told me the true date of the wedding.
Wait, he told you the real wedding date?
Oh no.
You mean you knew? You knew that the invitation I sent you was fake?
Indeed I did.
No, why would he do that?
The truth is, I've been having some discussions regarding you and your behavior with a friend of mine for some time now. She was shocked by the utter contempt you have for me, as anyone with a healthy moral consciousness would. One day she said to me, "That Miley seems like she hates your guts, Kayla. Are you sure she even wants you to come to the wedding?" That's when it hit me. No, you obviously don't want me coming. And given your behavior thus far, I was sure you wouldn't hesitate to use any dirty, underhanded tactics to keep me away. So, on a whim, I showed Carter the invitation I received to make sure everything was right.
I can't believe it. I thought my plan was foolproof.
It seems like you underestimated just how much of a fool you really are.
Oh, this can't be happening. But what's up with Carter then? If he knows that the wedding is today, why isn't he here?
Weren't you paying any attention to what my mom was telling you? I'm not coming because I don't want to.
Huh? Wait, Carter, is that you? What are you doing over there with your mom? Our wedding is about to start.
No, it's not, you idiot. It's canceled. The wedding is off.
What?
I've never been more disappointed in my entire life, Miley. I told you time after time to stop mocking my mom about her age. But not only didn't you heed my warnings, you gave her a fake invitation to make sure she missed the wedding. I didn't confront you right away when I found out, though. Do you know why that is?
Because you love me?
I'd say the past tense would be more appropriate, but yes. I loved you and trusted you. I was sure that you would apologize to my mom and correct your mistake. But you didn't. That's why I'm here with my mom.
But you told me you were here. You said you headed to the venue early to get ready, and just a while ago you said you were putting on your tuxedo. What is going on?
Isn't it obvious? I was lying. This makes us even, I'd say. You lied to my mom about the date, and I lied to you about being there.
How can you be joking around at a time like this? Our wedding is starting in just a few minutes. How can we have a wedding if the groom isn't here?
Good question. Here's another one. How can you have a wedding if the mother of the groom isn't there? And for the last time, wake up already. The wedding is off. I'm breaking up with you.
No!
What's the matter? I thought you'd be happier this way. Now you don't have to live the rest of your life with a defective husband and his mold mother. I mean, wouldn't you be afraid of having a kid just as defective as I am?
Carter.
Oh, and one more thing. You're wrong about me. I most certainly do have the ability to get angry. I'm the angriest right now that I've ever been. And how can you blame me? The woman I was set to pledge my eternal love to clearly despises me and my mother.
Carter, I'm so sorry. It's just, I don't know anyone else like you. I mean, having a baby at 40? That's just crazy. I was shocked. I didn't know how to handle it. It's not that I despise you or your mom.
You were shocked, huh? So shocked that you made a fake invitation just to make my mom miss our wedding? So shocked that you cooked up a scheme to convince her family that she was senile? Is that what you do when you're shocked?
I can explain.
You don't need to explain. I know your type. You're not the first person to mock my mom for her age. Back when I was in elementary school, all the other kids already told me my mom was really my grandma, and that my real mom was dead. Do you have any idea how much that hurt me? But my mom never let it get to her. She raised me with all the love and care that a mother can possibly give.
Carter, I am so sorry. I've done something absolutely terrible to you. I'm willing to do whatever you want to make amends. I mean it.
Is that so? You'll do anything I want?
Yes, you name it.
Okay. Never speak to me again.
Carter, please.
Go right now and tell the venue staff that the wedding is off. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to talk to a lawyer.
Kayla, I don't know what to do. Carter's never been this angry at me before. Nothing I say to him is working. He still wants to break up with me.
You shouldn't have mistaken Carter's kindness for weakness. Just because he's a gentle soul doesn't mean he's a pushover.
I tried going to everyone else, my friends, even my parents. But they all keep telling me that I'm only getting what I deserve.
And they're exactly right.
Look, I don't blame you for being angry at me, but please, can't you do something to get Carter to forgive me? I love him.
Do you know what love is, Miley? Love means to will the good of the other. So if you love Carter, you'll want what's best for him. And what's best for him is to break up with you.
But
what? Carter says he wants to break up with you. If you really love him, you'll give him what he wants.
You're making a big mistake.
I am?
Well, you're old. If you don't help me get back together with Carter, you might never live to see him get married, much less have grandchildren. Don't you want to be able to see your own grandchildren before the dementia takes over and you can't even remember your own son's name? And who's going to take care of you when you get too old to take care of yourself, if not me?
I would rather Carter drop me off in the middle of the woods on a winter night than leave me in your care. Besides, I'm as healthy as a horse. I've still got decades of life ahead of me.
At your age?
Yes, at my age, I've lived a healthier life than nearly everyone you know, I'd wager. I eat only organic food, nothing processed, and I make all my cooking from scratch. I also lift weights 3 times a week and run a mile every morning.
What are you, some kind of superwoman?
I'll tell you what, Miley, how about we make a little wager? If you can beat me in a 100-yard sprint, I'll encourage Carter to take you back. If I beat you, you'll leave town and never return. Well, what do you say?
I'll pass.
That's what I thought. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm running late for my appointment with my personal trainer. Good luck dealing with Carter's lawyer, Miley. The reason Carter consulted with a lawyer was to find a way to force Miley to pay for the wedding cancellation fees. The settlement they reached was that in exchange for Carter not suing her for harassing me, that she would be held responsible for the full cost of the wedding. Her parents refused to help her at all, so she'll have to come up with the full amount by herself. As for Carter, I'm not at all concerned about him finding love. With his impeccable personality and the good looks he inherited from his father, I'm sure he'll find a proper wife for himself in no time. As a matter of fact, one of my friends heard about his breakup through the grapevine and asked me to introduce her daughter to him. Looks like I may not have to wait too long to meet my grandchildren after all.
Hey, what's going on?
What do you mean?
Is it true that you have triplets? Did you really give birth to them?
Huh? Of course, I gave birth to them myself. What about it?
How can you have children?
What kind of question is that? I'm perfectly capable of having children.
We tried for 5 years and couldn't have any kids.
And?
That's why I divorced you and I kicked you out.
You didn't kick me out. We divorced mutually.
You were supposed to be defective.
Excuse me? Defective?
This doesn't make sense, does it?
The only thing that doesn't make sense is you.
What do you mean?
This proves that you were the cause of the infertility, doesn't it?
That's impossible.
Oh, but maybe it's too early to say that definitively.
Of course it is! There's no way I'm the problem!
We haven't done any clear test after all.
Exactly! So don't jump to conclusions.
But the fact that I was actually able to have children and even gave birth to triplets means that, by process of elimination, the problem is likely with you.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I'm stating facts.
There's no way I could be the problem.
And why is that?
I'm in perfect health and have never been sick.
Being healthy doesn't necessarily mean you're fertile.
Of course it does.
You said the same thing back then and refused to get tested, didn't you?
Because it wasn't necessary.
No matter how many times I asked, you absolutely wouldn't do it.
Because I knew I wasn't the problem.
But now that it's come to this, why don't you get tested just in case?
Can't do something so humiliating.
It's not humiliating, it's responsible.
A man going to a gynecologist?
It's called an andrologist when it's for men.
Paying a lot of money for tests.
Your health and your marriage are worth it, aren't they?
We had to endure humiliating days because of you two.
What are you talking about?
Being called a defective man and all sorts of horrible things that hurt me.
I never called you defective. You called me that.
Shut up!
You're the one who brought this up.
Don't get cocky just because you had kids before us.
I'm not being cocky. I'm trying to help you understand the situation.
If I really try, I can have kids right away.
It doesn't work like that.
Emily's in her 20s, much younger than you.
Age isn't always the determining factor.
I'm like an old hag. Young girls will get pregnant easily.
That's a very simplistic view of fertility.
Just watch.
Watch what?
I'll announce her pregnancy soon.
Jack, please be reasonable about this.
What should I do?
About what?
The test results show that I'm the cause of the infertility.
Huh? You actually got tested?
Yes.
Even though you were so against it before.
I just did it to kill time.
Sure you did.
Work wasn't busy, so I had some free time.
And?
I took the test and it turns out that it's my fault.
I see. How do you feel about that?
They said my body's almost incapable of conceiving.
Oh my.
Even with fertility treatment, the chances are very low.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What should I do?
Well, first you need to accept the reality of the situation.
Never expected results like this.
Most people don't. But now that you know, you need to take action.
What kind of action?
Well, you should hurry and tell Emily.
I can't do that.
You have to, and your parents too.
It's impossible.
Why is it impossible?
There's no way I can say something like that.
But you have to. They need to know the truth.
My parents will be so disappointed.
They might be at first, but they're your parents. They'll understand.
I'm their only son and I can't have children.
There are other options, like adoption or advanced fertility treatments.
They were looking forward to having grandchildren so much.
I know, but hiding the truth won't help anyone.
But I can't keep hiding it, can I?
No, you can't. It will only make things worse.
Emily's already being pressured by your parents to get pregnant soon.
Exactly. That's why you need to tell them.
She's being blamed and bullied for your issues, and it's affecting her mental health.
That's terrible. You need to stand up for her. That's why I'm telling you to come clean.
But I still can't say it.
Why not? It's the right thing to do.
Besides, it's already too late for so many reasons.
Huh? What do you mean it's too late?
Well, my parents really want grandchildren soon.
I know, but that doesn't change the facts.
They're super harsh with Emily. They won't stop asking why she's not pregnant despite being so young.
All the more reason to tell them the truth.
We've been forced to start fertility treatments.
What?
They told her to focus on getting pregnant instead of having fun, and even took away her smartphone.
That's horrible! How could you let that happen?
They're using Emily's money to buy expensive fertility supplements without her permission.
That's financial abuse.
They're treating her almost like a housekeeper, saying she's not a real wife until she gets pregnant.
That's even worse than what happened to me.
I know.
Your wife is going through such a terrible time, and you're not helping her?
But I thought it was her fault for not getting pregnant.
And now you know it's not, so you need to help her.
I never thought the problem would be with me.
Well, now you know. So what are you going to do about it?
This can't be happening.
But it is happening. You need to face it.
I can't possibly tell him that I'm the cause in this situation. I can't!
You have to. It's your responsibility.
God damn it to hell! What should I do?
I've already told you what to do. Tell the truth.
But
No buts, just do it.
I can't!
I don't care anymore.
What?
Just hurry up and tell everyone the truth.
But my reputation.
Your reputation isn't worth your wife's suffering.
Nothing good will come from hiding this, will it?
Exactly. So stop hiding.
As a man, I should have the courage to say it, shouldn't I?
That's right. Be a man and take responsibility.
This is the worst. Seriously.
What happened?
I thought I was the problem for not getting pregnant, so I endured all the crap they threw at me.
Oh no.
I put up with all the bullying and financial abuse.
I'm so sorry you went through that.
But it turns out Jack was the cause of the infertility all along.
Oh my, so you finally told everyone?
Huh? The reaction.
What about it?
Did you already know, sis?
I only found out recently.
How?
He couldn't accept the results and contacted me in a desperate panic.
So, he's been hiding this from me for a while?
Yes, it seems so.
I was starting to think better of him because he suddenly started helping me.
I see. What changed?
But today, while I was cleaning his room, I found the test results.
Ah, so that's how you found out.
I confronted him and he finally confessed.
Oh, so he didn't reveal it on his own?
No, he didn't. Can you believe it?
What a pathetic man, as always.
To think he knew he was the cause and still blamed me for the infertility.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry, Emily.
This is the worst.
I understand you're upset. What are you going to do?
I'm divorcing him.
Already? Are you sure?
I can't take this stressful life in the city anymore.
Huh? You're breaking up already?
Yes, I am. Why do you sound surprised?
Even though you finally found your ideal man who ticked all your boxes?
Well, he sure as hell doesn't tick him anymore. He's the worst.
I see. I get that. It must really be tough for you.
It is. I'll divorce him and get a big settlement like you did, sis.
About that.
What? Don't tell me I can't get a good settlement.
I'm sorry, but that might be difficult.
Why? Sis, you got a lot, didn't you?
Well, yes, but our situations are different.
How so? You got enough from the asset distribution to buy an apartment, right?
Yes, but there's something you need to understand about asset distribution.
What's that?
It's calculated based on the amount you both earned during the marriage.
Oh?
I was married for 5 years, but you've been married for less than a year.
But that's not fair! I've suffered so much!
I know, and I'm sorry. You can claim compensation for emotional distress, but I hear it's quite difficult to get more than the standard amount.
I've been hurt so much, and I can only get a paltry sum of money for it? That's unacceptable.
I understand you're frustrated, but that's often how these things work legally.
In that case, I'll have to use other methods.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not the type who pays people back tenfold when I'm wrong, and I am not letting this slide.
Emily, please don't do anything rash.
Too late, sis. I've already taken action.
What did you do?
You'll see soon enough. Everyone will.
Emily, what have you done?
Help me, Sarah.
Huh? What's going on now?
Everything's a mess now.
What happened? Did you get into a physical fight over the divorce or something?
I wish it was just a fight.
What do you mean?
That woman, she plastered my diagnosis results all over town.
What? Emily did that?
She even sent tons of emails to my company.
Oh no.
And she included videos and photos of her being abused along with it.
This is getting out of hand.
I can't go to work anymore.
My, she's causing even more trouble than I imagined.
My parents were rushed to the hospital when they found out about my infertility being public knowledge.
That's terrible. Are they okay?
At the hospital, everyone's giving me weird looks and jeering at me. God, this is horrible.
I'm sorry you're going through this, but
I'm desperately trying to convince everyone that this is all a crazy fabrication on my wife's part.
Jack, it's not a fabrication. It's the truth, isn't it?
But I can't admit to it now. It's too humiliating.
Just give up and tell everyone everything.
If I do that, my position and reputation will be ruined.
Your reputation is already in tatters. The truth might actually help at this point.
That's why I absolutely need to make everyone believe this is all fabricated. Yep, it's all nothing but a big, stinky, pathetic lie.
That's not going to work, Jack.
You need to help me too, Sarah.
Help you how?
Give me one of your children right now.
What? What are you talking about now?
You have triplets, so one less won't matter, right?
Are you out of your mind?
If I have a child, the rumors about my infertility will disappear.
That's not how it works.
We can also dispel the abuse rumors by showing everyone my doting father's side. 2 birds with 1 stone. Boom!
This is insane. You can't be serious.
Just need a child right now.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. I'm desperate.
There's no way I'd give my precious child to you.
Shut up!
No, you shut up and listen to reason.
This all happened because of your sister.
No, this happened because of your lies and mistreatment.
So you need to take responsibility too.
I don't need to take responsibility for your actions.
It must be tough for an old hag over 30 to raise triplets.
Don't you dare call me an old hag.
Your children burden will decrease, and I'll get my long-awaited child. Everyone's happy.
My children are not bargaining chips.
It should be a win-win situation for both of us.
There's nothing win-win about this situation.
Come on, just give me 1 kid.
What do you take me for?
What?
My husband and I will raise all our children properly.
But
Besides, you don't deserve to have children.
how dare you?
A scumbag like you shouldn't reproduce.
What did you say?
You heard me. You've always been a selfish man who only cares about self-preservation.
That's not true.
You didn't help your wife when she was being bullied because of you, always prioritizing yourself.
I didn't know.
Someone like you doesn't have the right to be a parent.
You can't decide that.
Children are delicate beings that need to be protected, even if it means sacrificing yourself.
I could do that.
Someone who doesn't understand that should never contact me again.
Hey, wait!
What now?
Are you really abandoning me?
I'm not abandoning you. I'm removing myself from this toxic situation.
You won't help me?
No, I won't. You need to face the consequences of your actions.
But we have a history together.
History that you've repeatedly disrespected and trampled on.
I'm sorry, okay? I'll do better.
It's too late for that.
Please, I'm begging you.
You're not worth helping, and I don't care anymore.
How can you say that?
I don't want to be involved with my sister or you ever again.
But we're family.
No, we're not. Not anymore.
You just can't cut us off like this.
Watch me. Well then, please resolve your marital issues between yourselves.
But
I'm no longer family to you. Goodbye, Jack.
Sarah, wait!
I hear that Jack and Emily are still discussing their divorce, but they're still fighting a lot. It seems the conversation is still going in circles, with Jack saying, "What you did is defamation. I'll sue you for damages." And Emily responding, "You're the one who's wrong for blaming me for your infertility. I won't apologize or pay anything." Meanwhile, Jack's mother is desperately going around trying to fix the whole train wreck of a situation, saying it's all fabricated and my son doesn't have any fertility issues. But this is only making people more suspicious and adding fuel to the fire. Jack is furious about this, and I hear that fights are breaking out all over their shared home every day. It's basically a war zone at this point.